with U of M great and former NFL star Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermanni. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
And here we go. It's Tuesday, June 28, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, Bottom Line, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards.
I'm back. I'm in the building, man.
How you doing, man? I miss you.
I miss you too, man. It was good, man. Got a chance to go off yesterday in the media outing for Rocket Mortgage, which I believe is 2 weeks from now. Played with Big DE Energy own Neil Rule. Had a good time. But enough about that. You know what I got a chance to check out last night? Because I missed it on Sunday. So I watched it last night. Oh, man. That Unrivaled was amazing.
Did you catch any of the show yesterday?
I did.
I mean, it was like 2 hours.
I did.
It was incredible.
So what was so incredible about it is, like, when you remember something like in a moment of time, a moment in history, as it relates to you, as it relates to anybody else, you remember it. You only remember certain aspects, and you focus on those aspects. So when you're going back to '96, boom, it happens on Drapes. Boom, '97 happens. They get the payback in March. Then they win the cup. Like, that's all you remember. You remember that D-Mac beat the hell out of Lemieux. They win that game in overtime, and they win the Stanley Cup that year. But you didn't remember everything that took place from Drapes in '96
Right.
to the offseason.
Lots.
To leading up to that season. You forget the fact that Lemieux played with Brendan Shanahan. That's why his son's name is Brendan. You know, you forget that the best fight wasn't even Lemieux, because that wasn't the fight. That was a straight ass whooping by our own D-Mac. The best fight was Patrick Waugh and Mike Vernon.
Oh, yeah. Vernon kept throwing haymakers.
Vernon, and then scooped him. Yeah. Scooped and scored. But, you know, it was amazing. ESPN did a great job. That was a nice barrel roll by you, Sam, by the way. But also, you got to love Darren McCarty. I was on Big D Energy. I talked to him at the end of the show. You got to love D-Mac for what – like, I was watching Drapes talk about the moment, and he's talking about D-Mac picking him up from the hospital. He's talking about D-Mac talking to him through the whole process. He's talking about D-Mac told him, hey, it's going to be okay. We got you covered. You get in the next season. And D-Mac does what he does, man. Like, and he's in the wedding. And even in the game, they win the game. D-Mac wins the fight. D-Mac wins in overtime. He scores a game-winning goal, and I said this on the show. He didn't want to go back out there, like, because obviously the fans were out there. They wanted to chant. They wanted to see D-Mac. They wanted him to do, you know, what is it, the tip of the cap in baseball.
That's where Maz was.
Exactly.
That's where Maz entered in. Good morning to you, or good afternoon to you, Tom Mazawey.
What up there, boys? I made one of my appearances there.
The humility that D-Mac has, you can see that he didn't want to go out there and receive all that because he's a team guy. D-Mac is down for the grind line. I'm telling you like this, man. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my brother D-Mac.
Amen.
Proud to have him on the network. I said it earlier, I said it again. Proud that he's our teammate because I want to be against that guy.
Without question. And we'll get you back in here, Tom Mazawey. Good afternoon to you.
What up, guys? It's great to be here. Beautiful Tuesday. I hear it's this is the last nice day of the week.
Well, I mean, I think we're cranking that heat back up into the 90s now. Now, look. People that have swimming pools like yourself, Tom Mazawey, or people that have boats, they like those 90-degree days. I have neither. So I prefer to stay in the air condition on those days.
I've had both, and I still don't like the heat. I lived in Miami in the off-season from the time I was drafted in 05.
I don't know how you did that, man.
Here's how. I didn't go outside in the daytime. Like, I would work out 6 a.m. I would get back home 8 a.m., 8:30. I'm in the house in the AC the rest of the day. I'm not leaving the house until 10. Now, it's still hot as hell at 10 p.m. in Miami, but I just never been like the outside guy unless it's a pool party. But outside of that, I hate the heat. I'm sweating now. I don't like the heat.
I'm with you, man. I cannot stand the hot days.
77 light breeze.
Give me the shade.
In the ballpark.
Give me the shade.
Absolutely, no doubt. Guys, a lot going on in the sports world. Braylon, great to have you back today. I do feel like my right arm is missing when you're not here.
Extension, same as the left, man. I can feel you over there, brother.
But we got a big show for you today. Going to talk a little bit about the NBA today. Some major news regarding Kyrie Irving and Russell Westbrook. Of course, in college football, too, the ACC getting rid of divisions. Are just going to have one league, and it's kind of the model that I think a lot of people are going to. So we're going to talk about that. Get you the latest on Colin Kaepernick's workout, what Warren Sapp said about that workout that has a lot of people raising their eyebrows. But we're going to begin today, Braylon, with Deshaun Watson. And we are finally reaching some sort of conclusion when it comes to a potential suspension. So this is news today. This is from Mary Kay Cabot, who is the Browns beat writer, columnist over there in Cleveland. We have had her on the show before talking about this situation. The NFL has informed Deshaun Watson, the NFL Players Association, and disciplinary officer Sue L. Robinson, it was recommending an indefinite suspension for at least the season. That's what sources are saying. A hearing begins on Tuesday. The Wall Street Journal was the first to report the indefinite suspension and 1-year ban. Braylon, your initial reaction to this?
He already did a year. He essentially already did a year. The Houston Texans and whatever the hell they called last year, whatever they chose to do with Deshaun Watson by not play him. Now, granted, he still was paid the full length of his contract. He still made money last year, but he technically was already suspended. Now, is the NFL different than the judicial system? Because last time I checked in the judicial system, he won the case. He wasn't found guilty in the court of law. So why are you suspending this man for an technically another year? This will be 2 years now that he hasn't played football. Now, I understand everything. The NFL has to protect the shield, and, you know, they find their I guess their suspensions or their findings, what they want to do, it's to uphold the shield. It's to tell you that you can't disrespect the shield. Well, if he say, she say is disrespecting the shield, then I think I need the NFL to do a little bit better. Now, I'm not saying he's not guilty of something, because we all believe that he may be guilty of something. But just as it stands right now, he won in court. It's he say, she say. Yes, I guess he's settled. I guess he did the civil thing under the table. But I'm just having a problem trying to figure out why. Last year he missed a whole year. Now you can tell him he has to miss another year. But what it does tell me is the Cleveland Browns knew this was coming. Excuse me. The Cleveland Browns knew this was coming, hence why his salary is what it is this season. You know, one of the things about this, too, Tom Mazawey, is last year he sat out the entire year, but that was by an agreement. That was by choice. That was by both sides just kind of saying, hey, I don't want to play for you, and you know what? We don't want you to play for us. That wasn't any NFL suspension. He was eligible to play last year and simply did not. So that year off isn't accounted for when it comes to any sort of suspension. A 1-year suspension is a huge commitment from the NFL, I think. And we saw in baseball, Trevor Bauer has a 2-year suspension. With pay. With pay. Now, the contract is what the contract is for Deshaun Watson. The NFL clearly says to Deshaun Watson, the rest of the world, and, you know, we know this already with what they do with their owners. Right. They are their own police. They are their own judge, and they are their own executioner. Hence Dan Snyder still being an owner. Exactly. That's where I was going with it, Braylon. My apologies. That's where I was going. You know me. We're connected, yes. Brother. We're connected. You finished the words that were coming out of my mouth. Right, yeah. And that's just what they're doing here. Maz, should he be suspended? There should be something.
They already had that long, was it 2-3 weeks they talked to him? Mm-hmm. Yeah. The NFL, remember that long period that they had a discussion with him? Was the longest time they ever talked to one player. We went over this. So I'm sure they got it all out with him and said, look, it's going to come the day at the end of June, beginning of July, when you have to go to trial, and we're going to have to recommend something for you. Now, the NFLPA is going to stick up for you. And like Braylon said, you're going to get X amount of games, and maybe, just maybe, we can knock it down to X amount of games. Right. And I think that's still what's going to happen. Yeah, I do too, man. I think for the NFL is trying to check all the boxes. They're trying. They have to look good. Maz, you took the words out of my mouth. They got to look good. They can't give Ray Rice a 2-game suspension for video. Correct. It's especially at the height that we are in this country, in this world, as it relates to women, as it relates to protecting women, their rights. Obviously, we saw what happened Friday. Obviously, in general,
You got to protect women. Women are at an all-time high in terms of supporters of the NFL, in terms of fans in the NFL. I remember what they did, the numbers in 2005 when I started to when I retired in 2014. The numbers were up 70% in terms of women taking in the sport, playing in fantasy sports, watching sports, going to the games, attendance. So you got to protect women in this, and I think that's what they're doing. They're saying, hey, look, we care about you guys. We understand something was wrong. We're not going to let him get away with this and just go scot-free. That's why they're doing a year suspension.
Here's what I don't know about anything, and anybody that claims they know
is
lying to you. I don't know if Deshaun Watson is a despicable human being, and I don't know that he's not. Right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know Deshaun Watson. I wasn't in those rooms, and it's real hard for everybody to come out here and comment on exactly what happened in those rooms. You know, it seems to be, sorry, did I do something again? I just pounded.
You pounded the desk and knocked your mic out again.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I'll wait till Ryan Ermanni had a little technical difficulty right now.
No.
Go ahead, Sam. Hop on out.
Yeah, but, to your point, to exactly what you're saying, we don't know if he did or he didn't. And I think that's what you're having right now. I think that's why the NFL struggled, too, with the ultimate ruling is, what did he do? What didn't he do? We got to do something because it looks good, man. And so I think that's what they're doing.
I don't think he'll get a year.
Yeah.
I think maybe if they say you get a year, he's not going to get a full year.
6-4?
I don't know about. I think maybe a half.
Okay.
17 games. Maybe he gets 8.
I just think this. The NFL, whether they feel it's a fair suspension, what the hell is going on?
I don't know. Let's take it easy. Let's take a quick break and come back.
God, it's like the first time we've ever done a show with this equipment.
That's
very good.
That's okay.
Very good.
Let's get to a break.
Yeah, go ahead. Throw to a break, will you?
We'll get to a break. We'll get this.
First, we're going to go to SMA.
But first,
there
a
you
message
go. What pros?
From SMA, man. The sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the F Word, helps spread awareness about fentanyl and other addictions. If you or anyone you know has problems in these areas, or you want to ask questions, or you just want some information on it, go to thesportsma.com. Sean Jordan and SMA do an amazing job of having the conversation. It's okay to not be okay. thesportsma.com.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hey, everybody. When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. It is Big Frog in Novi.
Big Frog.
It's Big Frog. No setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround. You can have your whole team outfitted in no time at all. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl and screen printing. Big Frog has the styles you want. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call them 844-4BIG-FROG. That's bigfrog.com/Novi.
Feel like we need a do-over.
There we go.
But if you can hear me now, that's great. So look, Deshaun Watson, apparently the Deshaun Watson, the Players Association, and the Browns have been informed that the NFL is going to recommend an indefinite suspension, a 1-year suspension of Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. And again, I don't know what happened in those rooms. It does not sound very good. But again, he was acquitted by 2 grand juries in this case. So whether the NFL feels, and again, this is just how I see this suspension. whether the NFL believes the suspension was deserved or not, they have to do this for public perception. Period. End of story. I don't even know what the NFL thinks at this point. But the NFL has had black eye after black eye after black eye. Yeah. And it really started with that Ray Rice video of punching his fiance, or however you want to characterize the hit in the elevator. It gets on video, and you suspended this individual for 2 games.
And that was only after the state of New Jersey, their prosecution system, went back and reviewed the footage, and then opened the case back up.
Yes.
Then the NFL said, "Oh shoot, they got us in a rock and a hard place.
Right.
Hey, 2 games.
Right.
Hey, whole season." So you're right, 100%. They have to do something.
So I mean, you've got racial inequities in the NFL. Yep. You've got owners who have sexual escapades on this workplace culture, one of bullying. It is just, like I said, it is just PR hit after PR hit after PR hit.
Yet, it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Nothing stops this train, the NFL. Nothing stops it. So they have to do a little housekeeping here and there. This is considered housekeeping. Now, they have a bigger issue. They have a whole team to take care of in the Houston Texans.
And let's look at that right now. The Associated Press writing that the Houston Texans could be in big trouble. A new lawsuit alleges that the Texans were told that Deshaun Watson was sexually assaulting and harassing women during massage sessions, but, quote, turned a blind eye to the quarterback's behavior and even provided him with resources to enable his actions. Braylon Edwards, I will come to you with this.
We talked about it.
Don't come to me. Get out of here with that. I don't want to talk about it. No, but, a lot of times when you do this with the NFL, when you do it for teams, is if you have a massage therapist, they give them a room, they give them an area, you come in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I never saw one of my massage therapists. I only had 2 when I was in Cleveland. I had 1 the whole time I was in New York. I never saw them have to fill out a form or have to, sign this, that, sign off and things of that nature.
Think about that, though. Let me stop you real quick.
Yep.
You played for the Browns for what, 4 years?
I did. 4.5.
You had 2 massage therapists?
Yeah.
He had 66 in a year and a half.
Yeah.
So
that's 4 a month.
That is unusual to have that many massage therapists.
He was looking for the right one.
He was looking for something.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
He was looking for something. Right.
I just meant.
No, but it goes back to with Deshaun Watson and going through this whole process. Something happened. Something happened there, and the NFL is covering their bases, like you said, the Ray Rice situation, the Colin Kaepernick situation. Like, there's been so much that's happened in the NFL, so they can't afford to botch this one up. Like, they can't afford what we said. We said 6 games. The appeal give 4. They can't afford that, to be honest. So I think for the NFL, they're like, if we got to sacrifice this guy, who we pretty sure did something anyway, you know what? We'll give him a year, and we'll see what happens with that. Because don't forget, there's still other things going on in the NFL. What's going on with Dan Snyder and the whole Washington Commanders situation? What's going on down in Miami?
What's the latest with that with Stephen
Ross? What's going on with the Giants?
Brian Flores still is floating around over all this.
Exactly. Like, what's going on? So the NFL has a lot going on. I think they're trying to get this one right. I feel like if they do a year, they'll appease most of the masses and be able to not talk about the other incidents that they're doing.
They've got a huge crap storm.
They got a lot of stuff, man.
They are floating around in a huge crap storm right now.
Yeah.
Brian Flores that's huge. Yeah.
Absolutely. I would not want to be part of the Houston Texans organization right now.
Nah.
Like, as a player too, because think about a player, some random player for the Houston Texans that has done nothing but everything right his entire career, his entire life,
but he's
to be a pro player, and then you get drafted or you play for the Houston Texans, and then this crap storm happens, and draft picks, all these things are going to be everything's going to be taken away from you, and you're going to be on a team that is not very competitive, and there's no way that you're ever going to win and your career essentially will be null and void because it's just.
Why do you think
it's just trash? You're just in the sewer in that organization.
Why do you think Lovie Smith is the head coach of the Houston Texans? Why do you think he's not a head?
I didn't even want to bring it up.
Nobody was taking that job.
Point.
Nobody wants to be down in Houston and deal with that process because, first of all, their front office, their ownership is trash. Their morals, their values are trash. And now they put themselves in a situation for everyone around them. They are legitimately like the black sheep right now. They're a pariah. Nobody wants to be a part of the Houston Texans. And Lovie Smith is a guy wanted to get back into the NFL, rightfully so. Guy that was struggling down there in Illinois, the Fighting Illini. It's tough to recruit in Illini because of where you're centrally located. Lovie was like, I'll take the job. Why not? That's why he's the head coach.
I think that's a brilliant assessment, to be honest with you, Braylon, because the NFL essentially can kill two birds with one stone, right? I mean, they saw
you hit the nail on the head.
They saw how the hiring process was going. They had 9 openings.
Talk about it, Ryan.
They had 0 black head coaches hired in a season, in a year, in an off season where, we talked about this stuff all the time. Yeah. It was a huge topic. What can we do to get more African-American representation at a head coaching level? And slowly but surely, teams coming off the list. Defensive coordinators are getting hired for offensive jobs.
Patricia.
Patricia.
Yeah.
But Patricia, an assistant. But I forget who the coach was. There's a defensive coordinator for somebody that was hired to be the head coach.
What team
I can't remember.
One
of the teams got hired in the offseason.
Green Bay. The guy Hackett.
Hackett.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's he coaching?
Denver. No,
Raiders. Raiders. No. Is it the Raiders? Either way. We don't know. Josh McDaniels is the Raiders.
Oh, no, it isn't the Raiders. It's Denver.
But either way, you see what I'm saying? And then Houston's opening is here. Nobody wants that job. Yeah. Let's bring in Lovie Smith. It's all BS. How the NFL continues to go along with this is pretty incredible. One of the things I did want to ask you, though, and maybe this is too soon to ask this question, but when Deshaun Watson gets back on the football field next season, let's just assume he goes through the entire year, the suspension is upheld. It's going to be essentially 3 years since Deshaun Watson has played a football game. We're going to talk about Colin Kaepernick in a little bit. It's going to be 6 years since he played a game.
December 2020, last time Deshaun
that's going to keep going, by the way.
Think about Deshaun Watson for a second. Is he going to be, after a 3-year hiatus, the Deshaun Watson that we know, that we think we know? Did the Cleveland Browns just essentially, could you bury the Cleveland Browns franchise today? Is this their funeral?
What I would think about that is you saw a guy, Mike Vick. Mike Vick is the last quarterback that I remember that actually missed 2 years and came back and played. So Mike Vick, when he had his situation,
was it only 2 years?
It was 2 years. It was like a little over 2 years, like 2.5 years or so. But when he essentially goes through his situation, he sits out. He was at a different age point. Like Mike Vick, that happens in 2006. He doesn't play again to 2009. But he was essentially drafted in 2000. With Deshaun Watson, Deshaun's still young. So you saw Mike, and when he came back, he wasn't as fast as he used to be. He wasn't the Mike Vick from Virginia Tech. He wasn't that guy anymore. But the cerebralness of his game was a lot better. His time in Philly, I saw a better quarterback in the pocket. I saw a better quarterback in terms of understanding the system and not necessarily relying on his legs. I think with Deshaun, because he is so young and he was a better quarterback coming out of college than Mike Vick was, I think he'll be okay. But still, it's going to be some rust on that thing, man.
And
it's going to be some rust on that.
And Vick was in jail for part of that.
Well, that's what I was talking about.
And Deshaun has been working out the whole time. Basically.
Technically, that's all you do in jail is work out.
Well, with the Browns.
Yeah, true.
With this team.
Very true. Very good point.
Guys, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Cleveland Browns have a team built to win the Super Bowl. If you were the Cleveland Browns, would you get down on your hands and knees, no pun intended, and just go beg Baker Mayfield to come back with you on a 1-year deal? Do whatever you got to do to get Baker Mayfield, because if not Baker, then you are giving the keys to the car, the keys to a Super Bowl caliber team to Jacoby Brissett. If you're cool with that, great. But I want to hear what you think about Baker Mayfield. We'll do that next. Ermanni and Edwards. But first, a message from the Foaling Warehouse.
Oh, that's right. And let's give them out there. Inham Tramick and Chris Hunt laid up right now with a little knee surgery. We wish them well. You got to get well, Chris. Get back out there. Football and bowling put together. It is Foaling. So it's two great games together, two ways to play it. $12 unlimited open play, or you can have your own private lane reservation. 10 or 12 of your friends, cost you $120. You get it for 2 hours, less than $10 per person. Bring your own food in, have it delivered. The bar, it's got over 100 beers to offer, and the $2 mystery beer machine. Name your drink, they've got it there for you. Get your Foal on. For more information, it's foalingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness is inviting all high school teens between the ages of 14 and 19 to work out for free all summer long via the High School Summertime Pass, and the promo goes all the way until August 31st. Planet Fitness is home of the Judgment-Free Zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere, and membership starts at only $10 a month.
Only $10?
Only $10?
Best deal in town.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely. What's an even better deal is you can get the Black Card for $24.99 a month.
Look at you.
Oh, yes.
Big baller.
Join today in club or online at www.planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Essential.
Fitness right there, man.
Guys, continuing to talk about the story of the day in the NFL, and that is that the NFL is recommending and has let Deshaun Watson, the Cleveland Browns, the NFL Players Association know that they are recommending an indefinite suspension and a minimum 1-year ban on Deshaun Watson. 66 masseuse masseuses, I don't know. How do you say it?
Massage therapist.
Massage therapist. Thank you very much for the brain fart there. 24 of them and possibly 2 more have alleged improprieties for Mr. Watson.
Ryan, let me ask you that before, because I know where you're going next. Let's stay with this for 2 seconds. Do you think for the NFL is looking at it like this? Let's say they do a year, Maz, Ryan, Fletch, Sam. If they do a year, do you think it could be because he settled those 20 cases? You know, you always go back to that. Now, settling doesn't mean guilt, but at the same time, like sometimes you settle because you're tired of something looming. You're tired of it hanging over your head. But most people will assume you settle, you're guilty, you have something to hide. Do you think that's a reason why it let the NFL potentially even get to a year type suspension is because of settling?
Most people do assume that, and I think that's a bad assumption.
I agree.
For a lot of people in positions like that, you do just try to settle to get rid of it because even if you're not guilty, it could cost you more money to prove your quote unquote innocence than just writing a check and being done with it. And it
drags out.
Absolutely.
Keep dragging. Okay.
I think the NFL's happy that he did.
Yeah, to be honest.
So you can kind of not go through a trial or not go through anything that's going to drag out over a year, year and a half, 2 years, and continue this story going. I think they just want this to go away, take the suspension, and be done with it. And in fact, look, if Deshaun Watson didn't have the talent that he had, I think the NFL would have no problem with a lifetime ban.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, if Deshaun Watson was just an okay quarterback, if he was ranked maybe
Mike Glennon
25 to 40 in that range and not top 5, I think he would never play football again, perhaps, because of what we talked about earlier. The NFL has to make examples out of things like this, whether they believe in them or not.
So it was Jared Goff.
Yeah, if it was Jared Goff,
enough Jared Goff slander.
Yeah, I don't even like to put a real name on it. You know what I mean?
Look what happened to Ray Rice. If he wasn't at the end of his career,
right? If he was at the beginning instead of the end,
he would have got signed.
No doubt.
There's no question.
If he was at the beginning instead of the end.
Pardon?
Was Ray at the end of his career?
I think he was.
He's
a running back.
Yeah,
he was a running back.
Let's put it like this: maybe not at the end, but he was over the hill.
Yeah, I mean he's drafted what? He's drafted 08. That incident essentially happened 13. So.
Exactly, 5 years for a running back. You know?
Was he really that good?
He was a top 12 running back in the league, I think.
Two-time Pro Bowler in 5 years. I mean that's.
Top 12, I think.
But to your point, for a running back shelf life, you are correct. He was getting to that point.
So let me get to this point, and that's one for Baker Mayfield. Because, like it or not, the Cleveland Browns have built themselves to win the Super Bowl this year, or at least compete for the Super Bowl. They do have it. So Baker Mayfield was interviewed at an event just today and had this to say. He says, I think for a reconciliation with the Browns to happen, they would have to do some reaching out. But we're ready to move on, I think, on both sides. Now, he went on to say that basically he was frustrated that the Browns didn't trade him. He's thankful for his 4 years in Cleveland, a ton of ups and a ton of downs, but he'll be forever a Brown, whatever that means. But he does say that he is leaving the door open if the Browns organization comes to him and just begs forgiveness.
So
I think that's what I'd do.
Yeah, 100%. I think partially, I'll get to answering your question, but I think partially it's tough for Baker because you look at what the Browns, the situation they put him in last year. Now Baker, a lot of the things that happened with Baker, I was gonna say a lot of S, is his fault. But with that being said, the man got injured. His team didn't protect him. When I got drafted to the Cleveland Browns, one of the things that Phil Savage was our GM, Romeo Crennel was the head coach, and Randy Lerner was the owner at the time. They told my mom, my stepmom, my dad, and my stepdad right before the press conference, as soon as I got to Cleveland, one of the first things they told him, we will protect your son. We will take care of your son. Your son is in good hands. Well, that's not what they did for Baker Mayfield. They allowed him to play injured. They allowed him to tell the doctors when he was healthy to play. I'm sorry, what? So with that being said, I would have a hard time trusting anybody. If I was him, I would have a hard time trusting other teams as well, because that's a tough process. Keep in mind, Baker Mayfield is still a young man. He's not old. He's not an old guy. So with that being said, he's going to have trust issues. But with that being said, yeah, I think both teams, both sides win. Baker Mayfield, Cleveland Browns, if he plays this year. If I'm Cleveland Browns, I go to Baker and say, look, we effed up. We can't tell you enough about how much we effed up. We still would have chosen Deshaun Watson over you. Let's not get that messed up. But how we handled you is a messed up situation. We apologize. You are trying to find a team. You are trying to find your way in this NFL. You are trying to show people that you still got it. You know what? You know how you prove that you still got it? You play this year. Don't worry about Deshaun. Don't worry about Jacoby Brissett. Don't worry about the storylines. You want to get paid? You want that 18.9 to turn into 47, to turn into 42? Well, come check this out. We got Amari Cooper. We got Donovan Peoples-Jones, who's stepping out of that shadow and starting to come into his own. We drafted David Bell, who I voted for last year for the Biletnikoff Award. We got David Njoku, a tight end that's been healthy now for the last 2 seasons, or for the last season, because he had injury problems early on in his career. You got a defensive tackle in Jadeveon Clowney, who's finally liking being a part of a team. That was one of the big knocks on him in Seattle, one of the big knocks on him in Houston. You got one of the best defensive players in the NFL in Myles Garrett. You got a squad. You got a squad. You can get everything you need, and so can we. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, that is how I lay the message out to him. Everything you need, everything you want, it's right here in front of you. All you got to do is grow up, put this situation behind you. All we got to do is shake hands and agree to get along for 1 year, and everybody wins.
And now for the Cleveland Browns Baker Mayfield fan club president, Tom Mazawey.
Can he play with those teammates again?
That's where I was going to say. That's what I was going to say, Maz. Listen to me. Listen to me for a minute.
Well, I'm listening.
I would go to my team if I'm the head coach of the Cleveland Browns or if I'm the general manager. And they probably already know this answer.
Yeah.
The one thing we don't really know, what kind of teammate is Baker Mayfield? Do you guys want to go to war with Baker Mayfield? Yeah. Or do you want to go to war with Jacoby Brissett? I'd put it to my team, and I would do whatever my team wanted me to do in that spot.
What if it's 60-40?
Then I say that's a no. We're going with Jacoby. Because that's a big divide in an NFL locker room. That's a big divide in an NFL locker room.
And you know what? Let's ask this question. And let's ask this question, right? Because I agree 100%. Like that's how you build a team. That's how you build a culture.
That's how you build a culture.
That's how you build a culture, is by doing things like that. So I agree with you 100%. But what's the ceiling if Baker Mayfield is your quarterback this coming season versus where's the ceiling if Jacoby Brissett's your quarterback? Because with Baker Mayfield, are you going to win a Super Bowl?
Yes.
Or are you going to get to the playoffs?
No, that's you're hoping that's a Super Bowl championship move.
Is Jacoby Brissett? Because I'm saying if you don't believe that Baker Mayfield can win your Super Bowl, then don't even have the question.
Exactly.
It's no reason to even bring that to him.
Exactly.
If you don't believe that.
100%.
If you think he can just get you to the playoffs, Jacoby Brissett could probably maybe do that as well.
Exactly.
But if you think this guy can win you a Super Bowl, you got to present it to the team.
And that's where, if I'm the team, that's why I asked the team.
Yeah, I agree.
Which guy do you think you can win a Super Bowl with?
Baker Mayfield.
Guys, this was really fun. Pro Football Focus did a redraft of the 2020 draft. Remember, that was the one the Lions took Jeff Okudah. Who did they take now in the redraft? Pretty surprising, I think. We'll get to that next. But first, the message from Les Stanford Chevrolet. It is no secret that new cars are hard to come by, but they are available at Les Stanford. Got to make a plan, though. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles. Les Stanford has over 350 pre-owned cars on the lot right now. All makes, all models, all years. Some with less than 500 miles, so they're like brand new. Head over right now. Michigan Avenue in Dearborn. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Fine new road.
Find them.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Hey, Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. We've been red hot. You guys got to make sure you're tailing along. And also, we're going to start talking about fantasy football. Get you guys ready for your drafts and all that other fun stuff for the upcoming season. But listen, first, you guys got to get over to that app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to check all the odds at all the sports books right in the palm of your hand. But listen, we got to stay hot. We're going to win us a winner tonight. Let's go with the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox been hot. Oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
At Alta. At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Have a bog project coming up? Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Want to thank everybody watching, making us a part of your day. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We got the guys behind the glass, the great Fletch and Sam Flannel. Great stuff. Did we provide enough entertainment for you, Fletch, during the commercial break?
Hey, shout out to my girl, Serena Williams.
Love Serena Williams.
Serena is back at Wimbledon. She's playing right now.
She's like 1,000,000-1.
She is, but you know what? If anybody can pull it off, it's Serena Williams. Anybody that can win pregnant, you know what? They will always have my vote, man.
Oh my God, I love Serena Williams.
I told you the Serena story, right? About Vegas.
No,
I couldn't get in the club.
Tell me. Oh yeah.
I told you that story.
Tell it for the people though.
You pulled her and Venus.
Tell it quickly for the people who are wondering what that is. Who might be.
Basically, I make it quick. I was out there for a fight. It was Floyd Mayweather was fighting Zab Judah. We go to the after party at Trist, which was inside the Wynn Hotel, and we had VIP tickets. We had a booth and all that. But guess what? In Vegas, everybody has a VIP. This is like my second year in the league. So I noticed in the line that Serena and Venus were waiting outside the line too. They can't get in. And keep in mind, this was a year I think Venus won the U.S. Open, and I think Serena had just won Wimbledon. I said, if they can't get in, so I legitimately go to the VIP guy outside, the manager, and I pull him to the side. I said, hey, excuse me, these are my clients, Venus and Serena. Venus just won U.S. Open. I said, and Serena's Wimbledon, the current Wimbledon champ. I said, what are you doing? How do you have my clients waiting outside? This is unacceptable. And they were like, oh I'm sorry, Mrs. Williams and Miss Williams, we'll get you guys right in. They were like, and so we're following them, and they're like, who are you? I was like, look, I'm Braylon Edwards. I just got drafted in the NFL, but enough about that. I tell you at the table. So they take us in. They give us like a prime booth, prime location, free drinks, free bottles all night. Lennox Lewis was in our table, and then I was like, hey man, they said you've got the gift of gab. And Venus and Serena, they supported my charity, my foundations ever since that moment. But good friends now, man.
That's incredible.
How about that?
That's great. Love that.
How's Lennox Lewis?
Hey,
I used to love Lennox Lewis.
He's not as big as you would think he is, but at the same time,
you could take
he's
him.
Scary. No, I'm not done.
Is he a good dude?
No, he is. He's super cool. He was bigger than his bodyguard, though. I thought that was the funniest thing ever.
Well, his bodyguard's got all the guns.
Between them two, they got guns, all right, baby.
You know what today's the anniversary of? Speaking of boxing?
Something to do with Mike Tyson?
Spinks?
No, Mike Tyson biting Evander Holyfield's ear.
Is it really? I thought I saw something on that 25
It's
years.
like 25 years later, the missing ear. Because they never found the ear, the piece of ear.
No, that's because Mills Lane kept the fight going instead of looking for the poor guy's ear. He just let it go. He kept it going.
But they said one of the alleged accounts is that it's sold on the underground market.
Oh, I bet it did.
Oh yeah, it's out there for sure. Somebody
froze it.
Guys, back into the NFL. Pro Football Focus did a 2020 redraft. Oh man, I wonder. Don't you wish you could just go back and get a do-over in this draft? I
thought Jeff Okudah was your guy.
I like him, but I like him a lot. But it's funny to see, 2020 wasn't that long ago, right?
No, it wasn't.
Two drafts.
There is one player on here that would have been taken.
There goes your mic again.
How? I'm not even doing nothing.
Right,
no, you're on.
Stay on the mic.
Oh.
Hey, man, hey, you about to give a man a hard time.
I mean, seriously.
He's high strung.
There's only one player on this list that would be taken by the same team, and that's the first player overall, Joe Burrow, by the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
I think it's more interesting to go along the left side of this graphic. If you're watching on YouTube, we certainly invite you to hit that like button for us. Subscribe to Woodward Sports as well. But on that left side, Joe Burrow, Washington would take Justin Herbert, number 2. How about 3? The Detroit Lions would take Justin Jefferson. We'll get to that in a minute. But Tristan Wirfs, Chase Young goes 5 to the Dolphins. A.J. Terrell and Antoine Winfield, back-to-back defensive backs in that spot. CeeDee Lamb, the wide receiver. T. Higgins, also a wide receiver. And Andrew Thomas. So 1, 2... 3 wide receivers in the top 10. Has the game changed or what? You know what I mean? That alone just goes to show you the game has changed. ESPN has a mock draft out for next year. Number 2 overall, Jackson Smith and Jigba. You know, I mean, for 2 overall.
Over all those quarterbacks?
Yes, over all those quarterbacks.
The game changes. They're game changers. Look what Cooper Kupp was able to do last year. Now, obviously, Matt Stafford was able to find him, and it was a great connection. Look at what Cooper Kupp did last year. Look at what Odell Beckham did once he got on track, once he got on par last year with that franchise in Los Angeles. Look at Jamar Chase, what he was able to do. You got a terrible offensive line. It doesn't matter. You know what? You got one of the best receivers in the NFL. Just drop back, quick 3 seconds, throw the ball up, and let him find it. Devontae Adams, and the list goes on. That's why they are game changers. A guy like Tyreek Hill. You don't have to throw the ball way down the field for Tyreek Hill to have success. Just drop it off to him. It's like a 5-yard handoff that he turns into a 65-yard touchdown. Wide receivers are game changer right now. Mans,
look at this. Look at this redraft here. I mean, you've got 2 offensive linemen in Wirfs and Thomas, and 1 defensive lineman in Chase Young.
I think they got it wrong, to be honest, though. I wouldn't take Jefferson. I would take Tristan Wirfs.
Offensive tackle.
I'd take Tristan Wirfs. You saw how important it was to have him on the field last year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If Tristan Wirfs plays the entirety of that season, if he plays in the playoffs as well, they beat the Rams. Tom Brady was running like a man with his head cut off. Tom Brady couldn't drop back. I remember watching that game. I said, I've never seen Tom Brady so uncomfortable, so nervous, and so scared in my life. The right side was gone. When you watch him play with Tristan Wirfs, Tom's back there chilling.
Here's where I'll disagree with you slightly on that, Braylon, is just go back last year and look at the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, if the Cincinnati Bengals take Penei Sewell instead of what's his name, the wide receiver?
Jamar
Chase, they're not in the Super Bowl. That's the kind of effect a wide receiver can have in one season on a team. It just is. And I could be wrong on that, and we'll never know. But I don't think Cincinnati's in the Super Bowl last year if they go with Sewell over Jamar Chase.
Of course. 100%. Like, that's you're right. Like, we know that to be a fact. Justin Jefferson has been the best wide receiver in the span of the last 2 years. You look at his stats, I believe he's upwards of 3,100 yards last 2 years. He's over 20 touchdowns or so. He's a baller. He's a monster. But it's something to be said when you can protect that right side.
Quarterback sucks.
You talk about the.
I hate Cousins.
You guys hate Cousins.
I just don't like. I think he's
he's
such a fraud.
He's stealing.
I mean, he's stealing money.
I want to fight you.
Stealing money.
I want to fight you on Jefferson, but I love Jefferson. But I like a big defensive guy. I love Chase Young.
Yeah.
I loved him. The reason we didn't get Chase Young is because of the tie that we had, and the Redskins beat us that year. We should have picked ahead of the Redskins because they beat us, but because of that stinking tie, they got to choose ahead of us, and they took
Commanders,
Chase Young. Pardon?
Commanders, by the way.
I know, but they were the Redskins then, so I could be comfortable calling them the Redskins then.
I'm just messing with when somebody beats you to it in the
I don't care. They can make a mess with me. Anyway, I love Chase Young. He did get hurt last year. If he doesn't, do you really think Chase Young isn't the pick?
Yeah, you know what, man? I may have just been looking at Justin Jefferson, Tristan Wirfs. I might have completely overlooked Chase Young. I mean, the man did have 18 sacks at Ohio State in one season. That's tough. He made the Pro Bowl, although his stats weren't great his rookie year. I think he made the Pro Bowl off his name alone. But the ceiling for him, which is that word that I can't stand, just like you can't stand narrative, I hate the word ceiling. But Chase Young is going to be a player, man. I think they set him up all of last year on purpose, because they really wanted him to be back. Kind of like the same thing with Jameson Williams. You wait till they're 100% ready. Chase Young's going to be a problem, but Tristan Wirfs don't come around all the time. Like, and I get it. You're going in the route of receiver. You got to have your Micah Parsons. You got to have your guys like Chase Young. I get that. But these tackles like that, like Tristan Wirfs, like Slater for the Chargers, and Creed Humphrey, Penei Sewell, these guys don't come around all the time.
Hey, if we got Wirfs this year, that means we get the following
Micah
year,
Parsons.
we get Micah Parsons. All right, I'm on your boat.
See, there it is.
Your boat.
Bought him in there.
Guys, talking about the importance of receivers, I want to take a look at the Lions receiving core, what tier it falls into in today's NFL. And the most surprising Detroit Lion in minicamp, the most surprising under-the-radar player in Detroit Lions minicamp, you will be shocked at this name. We'll tell it to you next. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. No secret. As you see in the Maz shot, we broadcast our show and our network live from the headquarters at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Get off the air, you get a precision haircut from one of the talented stylists, and you have fun doing it. My goodness, you'll be looking great. All you got to do, walk in, sign in, sit down. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh-wee! Over 100 locations nationwide, many of them locally here in the Metro Detroit area. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Wicked awesome.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the bottom line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Trader.com, the number one site for your game day bets, play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price on every game for multiple sports books. Go to oddstrader.com right now for your best bets. Oddstrader.com. Best bets, oddstrader.com.
You know, you look at the Detroit Lions receiving core just from a year ago, and their 2 off-season acquisitions.
Night and day.
They had Brashad Perriman, and they had
from the Chargers.
Was it Mike Williams?
Yeah, no, it wasn't Mike Williams.
I even forgot who it was.
He played like
Tyrell Williams.
Tyrell Williams. Thank you.
He
Thank
played
you,
like
thank
4
you, thank you.
minutes.
Yeah, Tyrell Williams. And then you draft this know-nothing player, Amon-Ra St. Brown, probably catch 5 passes and be done with it.
Pick up Khalif Raymond.
Right, pick up Khalif Raymond, a bunch of these
By the way,
no-name guys.
Amon-Ra St. Brown,
yeah,
he's number 1 on Matthew Berry's fantasy wide receivers chart.
Who's behind you there? Wave.
Who was that?
Look at that guy. Look at that outfit. I got to go down to Florida, man.
The great Chad Johnson here.
Chad.
I mean, he posted, speaking of our owner, Chad Johnson, posted on Facebook and Instagram this week a true rags to riches story. Building this incredible home on 400 feet of water in Fort Lauderdale. Same guy that comes from a trailer park. Same guy that went to the grocery store with his mom, and his mom had to put $20, $30 worth of groceries back because they were on food stamps and didn't have enough money to pay. If that's not an inspiration, man, I don't know what is. There ain't no can't. There ain't no can't.
And just genuine, too.
You
like,
can do it.
Genuine and authentic. You know, a lot of those guys you meet that get to that point, get to that space that he's in life, you know, they're real pieces of work. You know what I'm saying? If you would, that's a nice way to put it. But still, you know, he is who he is, authentic and genuine as they come.
Absolutely, and it'd give you the shirt off his back in the process. Guys, I want to talk about this Lions receiving core because if you look at a year ago, I mean, they were just a miserable receiving core, terrible. Perriman, I think, got cut right off the bat. Tyrell Williams got hurt, and then you had the broken collarbone from Quintez Cephas, who we were really high on after watching a couple of games play. You were always high on him, Braylon. And I think if you put this receiving core up, they would be on the bottom a year ago, maybe the worst in the league. But this year they have improved. And this is in NFL polls now, which has them ranked in the 3rd tier of NFL receiving cores. And you know what? That's not so bad. That's right in line with 3 playoff teams from a year ago. Tennessee was in the playoffs a year ago. The Patriots were in the playoffs a year ago. The Chiefs were in the playoffs a year ago. I think that's a very respectable spot to be for the Detroit Lions because you do need a lot of guys, and they seem to have a lot of guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of them. We hope he takes the next step. Are we taking that for granted that he will take the next step? I don't think so. I believe in him. I think he's put the work in, and he's going to be a fine player. Of course, Jameson Williams, Braylon, is a guy that I think we'll see after week 6. And then Chark. DJ Chark.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem. So
that's a player that I think is on a show-me contract and could be a leader of this core.
A lot of this has to do with projections, right? A lot of this is projecting, what a team will be based off of a player's skill, based off what a player did in college, based off how a player will fit into a system. If I'm looking at it from that perspective, I think the Detroit Lions actually are too low. I think the Detroit Lions are better than the New York Giants. I think the Detroit Lions, in fact, I know they're better than the Patriots. I think the Detroit Lions are better than the Titans for sure. Because who did they just draft out of Arkansas?
I forgot the guy's name.
Flannel Sam.
Treylon Burks.
Treylon Burks, I've heard, isn't up to snuff. I heard Treylon Burks hasn't been that good of a show down there in Tennessee. A.J. Brown's no longer there, and Julio Jones, they don't know what he's going to do. So I think they're better than them. Carolina Panthers, I'm sorry, who plays there? DJ Moore?
How the L.A. Rams are tier 2?
Because Odell's not playing right now, so you essentially are saying what? You're waiting for Robert Woods.
Allen Robinson and Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, that's enough to be
I
two.
mean, what about the Minnesota Vikings with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen?
Look how low the Chiefs are. They're in 3.
But who they got?
Oh, they dropped.
They don't have anybody.
They lost Hill.
They got Juju Smith-Schuster.
He ain't no good. He hasn't been good.
They got a pretty good tight end.
Yeah, but if you count that, I'll count Hockenson. Not that Hawkinson's in the same class as Kelsey, but nonetheless.
Going back to what I'm saying, it's about projections. So if I'm looking at the Detroit Lions from a projection standpoint, well, Amon-Ra St. Brown proved himself last year. Amon-Ra St. Brown can play football. And this was last year when they didn't have a big wide receiver core. He proved how good he was. Josh Reynolds is decent. I would say that. Jamison Williams, hell, if Jamison Williams doesn't get injured, they win the national championship. So you know what his skills level is. Not to mention you've seen what these SEC wide receivers had done first year. You saw Justin Jefferson. You saw Jamar Chase. You see DJ Chark, if we're going off projection, well, a year ago he made the Pro Bowl. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't get injured last year, I'm pretty sure he would have put up some numbers. Well, maybe not. You know, that was a whole dumpster fire.
Quarterback sucks too.
Exactly. I'm not high on Trevor Lawrence.
I never have been.
I'm glad we're in the same. I'm glad we're in the same boat now. I'm not a huge Trevor Lawrence fan. But if I'm looking at it, I'm telling you, Khalif Raymond. Khalif Raymond made some plays last year for the Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions should be higher on this list just based off what I'm seeing. Who you got in Seattle? Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf? Yeah. That's 2 wide receivers. That's 2.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Quintez Cephas
to be honest with you, I would take well, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. Would you take Kupp and Allen Robinson over Evans and Godwin coming off an ACL? I would. Yeah, I would actually.
I don't know about that, and this is why I don't know about that. One thing with Kupp, everybody is, as you should. He had one of the second greatest year of any wide receiver ever, if you go by the stats. And I get it, and he finished it off with 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl, and he won MVP. I give you that, but you got to do it consistently. Like last year, like he never had 1,000 yards before last year, and then he was 1,900, so it takes him to a new stratosphere. Mike Evans has 8,000-yard years in a row. Chris Godwin made 2 Pro Bowls, one before last season before he got injured. So if you want to go by consistency, I can't take them over Godwin and Mike Evans yet. But it's going to be damn fun to watch this year.
I wanted to get to this, back to the Lions receiving corps. So ESPN came out with this surprise standouts for all 32 teams. Lions wide receiver Trinity Benson was the pick. After last season, here's the write-up. After last season, Benson approached Dan Campbell directly during his exit meeting to ask for advice on how to become a better player. So far, he has taken all of that advice as Campbell praised him during minicamp as one of the guys who is, quote, having a hell of a spring. Benson has learned the playbook and elevated his confidence by adding speed to his skill set. He'll still have to fight for a spot among a competitive receiving corps that has added talent. If nothing else, I am happy that Trinity Benson has acquitted himself well in minicamp, because if it doesn't happen here, I want everybody to succeed. Yeah. We had so much fun with Trinity Benson last year as just being a joke of a trade, waste of a 5th-round pick. This is your answer to your bad receiving corps, is trading for a guy like Trinity Benson. Yeah. How bad can this guy be if he can't get into the game for this team when they have 0 wide receivers? If nothing else, I hope he puts it on tape that he can play, and if not here, latches on with somebody else. I'm going to be a big Trinity Benson supporter this year.
Look how high the Broncos are. That tier 2, they got him from the Broncos, so he couldn't make that Broncos team. So he's probably a talented kid.
Yeah, that Broncos
probably couldn't learn the intricate playbook that Dan Campbell and what's his name, Anthony Lynn put together here in Detroit.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I had a coach, actually, you're familiar with the name, Wes Chandler.
Of course.
Wes Chandler was a wide receiver. He played with the Eric Coryell system out there with Dan Fouts. So it was great to have him as a coach. Just pick his brain about things. One thing he told me, Ryan, is he said, Braylon, like, always remember, when you're in the NFL, you're always auditioning for the next job. He said, you're always auditioning for the next job. He said, you're not going to be with the, and this is what he told me. He said, I guarantee you're not going to be with the Cleveland Browns forever. I guarantee you might want to get into coaching one day. I guarantee you're going to run into some of these same coaches and some of the same personnel together. Always be mindful, how can I get better? How can I audition for the next job? Like, how can I be ready for the next job? Because what Trinity Benson is essentially doing, just like you said, is now when the word goes around about Trinity Benson, whenever people inquire about Trinity Benson, hey, Dan, what type of guy is Trinity? You know, we're thinking about picking him up. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Hey, you know, Antoine Randall, who's the wide receivers coach. Antoine, what type of guy is he? What are they going to say? He works hard. He does the extra things. He wants to get better. We've had no problems with him. See, little things like that is what gets you picked over somebody else. It sometimes will get you picked over a guy that has more talent than you or is a better player, because they'll look and say, hey, you know what? I know for a fact from this guy, people I trust, this guy wants to be on the team, this guy wants to work hard. You know, we'll take you over that guy.
Braylon, I got to get to a break, but when we come back, I want to ask you how good this Lions receiving core could be as it relates to the division. I mean, you've got the Vikings, the Lions, the Packers, and the Bears. And you got to account for those quarterbacks as well when you talk about the receiving core. How good can this group be in 2023? Not beyond, but just in 2023. I want to ask you that next. But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
Hey, we were there last Thursday in Harrison Township. What a great group of people that they have. Wonderful place. If you want to get your tan on, you'll get all the best deals if you join the Pepper Club. They'll beat all the competitors by $5 on unlimited tanning. They beat all the best deals. Plus, they've got it all going for you. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters. That's right. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. 27 locations. More on the way.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz for Big Boy. Here he is. And the buffets are back at Big Boy at participating locations. Weekends, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't forget, try the classics like, of course, the Slim Jim. How about the Dolly Chicken Sandwich? And, of course, the original Big Boy Classic. You got to get it. Find your nearest location at bigboy.com. They are the best.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the program. We certainly thank you for being with us and making us part of your day wherever you are, however you're watching us, however you're listening to us. We thank you for doing so. Subscribe to Woodward Sports. Well over 27,000 subscribers. Now on our way to 30,000 subscribers. Would love to get there by the time football season starts, and I think we will be able to get there by the time football season starts. In August.
Hell of a football year, man.
Absolutely. If you are on YouTube right now and you have the ability to do so, I know you can't do it if you're watching on your TV at home, but go ahead and hit that like button for us. We'd certainly appreciate that. Just talking about the receiving core of the Detroit Lions. There was an NFL Polls Now tweet that came out about which tier the Lions were in for wide receiving, the receivers, and they are tier 3 of a 4-tiered perspective. But I think if we just shrink it a little bit and just look within our own division here, Braylon, I would think that the Lions, Maz, you got something?
Just a quickie on wide receivers.
Sure.
Terry McLaurin of the Commanders, he signs that 3-year extension. $71 million in new money, puts him amongst the NFL's highest top wide receivers.
And that's why teams have started to draft receivers like they draft quarterbacks. Hey. If you can get a receiver with that 5th-year contract option, that's where you got to do it.
And, FYI, he deserves that extension. Terry McLaurin can ball. He can flat-out ball. He is just another one of a line of current Ohio State representing at the wide receiver spot. They just get it. You saw what they did 2 weeks ago. Well, actually last week.
Wide receiver,
they signed 3 players in the top 300 that were all wideouts. Their wide receiver core right now features Marvin Harrison Jr., Jackson Smith, and Jigba, who you just talked about. You saw this year, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. I tell you what, Ryan Day, I'm not a fan of, but one thing he does get, he understands what the NFL understands, the wide receiver value at that position now.
So, DJ Chark, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Quintez Cephas, Khalif Raymond, Jamison Williams, and you can even throw T.J. Hawkinson in there. When it comes to the Bears, Packers, and Vikings, where would you put the Detroit Lions right now? Remember, Devontae Adams is now gone in Green Bay. Adam Thielen has dealt with injuries the last couple of years. Justin Jefferson is there for sure. And the Chicago Bears lost Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
Where would you place the Detroit Lions within the division?
Number 2, because at the end of the day, Thielen has proved it. Thielen is a 3-time Pro Bowler. Their receiver, Justin Jefferson, is the best receiver in the division, period. Justin Jefferson is the top 5 receiver in the NFL right now. If you want to go off stats in the last 2 years, I don't care who you like, Justin Jefferson has to be in your top 5. It's about stats. It's about what he does. He does it against every team. He got better last year. He took steps from the season he had the year before, which is 1,400 yards as a rookie, which Jamar Chase broke. So you got to go them. Number 1, I think next in line is the Detroit Lions. You talked about it. We bring in DJ Chark, a guy that's 6'3", 4.3 speed. Hold on. Don't worry. I'll bring that comment back. 6'3", 4.3 speed. That means he can take the top off of the defense, but not only that, he can go up for the 50-50 balls. Then you bring in Amon-Ra St. Brown and what he's able to do. He played outside last year. He played inside last year. They put him at the Z. They put him in the Y, let him go on motion. He makes the catches over the middle. He also kills linebackers and safeties with that mismatch. Then you add Jamison Williams. Saw what he was able to do last year for Alabama. Is a stud. You don't move up 20 spaces in a draft to draft a guy coming off an ACL injury if that guy's not that deal. Khalif Raymond is a guy that made some plays for him last year. You heard about Trinity Benson. Josh Reynolds is a guy that gives you some substance. He gives you some consistency. He gives you some comfort level for Jared Goff. And you also saw what he was able to do and help out last year with Amon-Ra St. Brown when he got here in December. And then last, Quintez Cephas. Like you talked about, I love Quintez Cephas when he was at Wisconsin. You saw what he was doing last year early on. He had 6 games last year before he injured his collarbone. Played well against Green Bay. Played well against the Vikings, Green Bay as well. I said that twice. But they just have a really good team, and they have variety. They got the small guys that can get in and out of coverage. They got the small guys that can work the slot, work the middle, like Tyreek Hill did sometimes for the Chiefs. You got the big guys. You got the tall guys. Jamison Williams is 6'2", burner. DJ Chark, 6'3", burner. So I think they do a good mix of having variety. And then, like you said, you also have T.J. Hawkinson. When you want to add him out, you see with Kansas City how they use Travis Kelce.
Sammy Watkins, Christian Watson, Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb of the Packers.
We're better than them.
Yep. I think so, too. I do, too.
You just named 2 guys. Oh, you talk about over the hill. Randall Cobb, Sammy Watkins.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of those guys.
Sammy Watkins was really never been.
He's never been a number one.
He's never been.
But he's never been a number one.
DJ Chark is as good as him.
Hold on.
And we saw what happened with Sammy Watkins, or we saw what happened with Juju Smith-Schuster when he was asked to be a number one in Pittsburgh. Once Antonio Brown wasn't there, you know, it's a different deal when these guys got to elevate.
You know more than me.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm saying you're right. He never actually amounted to his pick. Sammy Watkins, top 10 pick when he got drafted by Buffalo. So he's a top 10 pick. So to that point, you're right. Sammy Watkins is a damn good football player. He spent the majority of his early seasons before Buffalo turned it around. So he was there before Buffalo kind of turned it around when they still had Tyrod Taylor, who was getting injured. So you got to take it back to that. But then, look, when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, who was the second wide receiver? It was Sammy Watkins. So Sammy Watkins is a much better player than that, but he never did amount to that top 10 pick. To your point, I'm not scared of him now. I'm not scared of Randall Cobb.
I'm certainly not scared of Randall Cobb.
Aaron Rodgers does make them a step better than what they were.
Lazard, I'm not scared of Lazard. Now Christian Watson, we don't know what he's going to be, but the boy.
But he's not going to be Devontae Adams.
At least not right now.
Exactly.
Remember, it took Devontae Adams 3 years to become the beginning of Devontae Adams. It's going to take some time.
I agree. I like the Lions receiving core. I think it's actually a strength of this football team.
All we need is a QB.
And I think he is going to be better because look, we didn't even mention Josh Reynolds. I didn't even add. Oh, you did.
He did.
But I mean, Josh Reynolds when he was in the lineup, we saw what Jared Goff was capable of doing.
Yeah.
Now add players that are better than Josh Reynolds in there.
Here's Josh Reynolds. I'm gonna throw something out there for you. When I was with the Cleveland Browns, when I first got there, Dennis Northcutt was a wide receiver out of Arizona, punt returner as well. Antonio Bryant was there. Antonio Bryant was a Pro Bowler with Tampa, won Comeback Player of the Year. He won the Blitnikoff at Pitt when he was in college. There was no leadership in that wide receiver room. Like, I was more of a leader as a rookie coming out of Michigan than these guys were. You can tell that losing in Cleveland made them just, hey, we just show up for work, we're here, and we leave. We're here because we got to be here. When I got to New York, my 5th year, Jericho Cotchery is a year older than me.
Love Jericho Cotchery.
Jericho was a freaking leader. Like Jericho, he was able to break the plays down.
They never should have let him go.
No, 100%. They screwed us on that. They let both of us go the same year. I think he going to Pittsburgh. Now he's a wide receiver coach down in Carolina, I want to say. But you felt the difference in the room when you got a guy that can bring what the quarterbacks do into the room, guy that can hold people accountable. I guarantee you that's who Josh Reynolds is. You saw the change in Jared Goff. You saw the change in the wide receivers, Khalif Raymond, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Once he got here in November, there was a difference in that room. You got to have leaders like that, and I think he's a leader to that room. You're 100% right to mention him because I think it goes without saying that he's an unsung hero in that room.
D. Smitty writes on the YouTube chat, y'all sleeping on Goff. He going to light it up on y'all. I
hope you're right.
I think Jared Goff could be in consideration for most improved player, comeback player of the year. I mean, something like that. Yeah. I think he's going to be in line for something like
confidence.
That. Yeah.
It stems from confidence.
Yeah, he's engaged, newly engaged. He's got a lot to play for now.
What did Corey tell us? What Corey Woods tell us that when he was watching Minicamp,
he's a different guy.
He says night and day when you look at how he commands. Like, even in his interviews, when we were watching him after practice, it's a different guy. He didn't seem sheepish. He didn't seem shy. He didn't seem with his head down. He had his hips up. He was right. He was like, well, I think the guys are going to do good this year. I think, I like what we're bringing. Like, he's a different guy right now, man.
Let's watch Hard Knocks.
Can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait for Hard Knocks. I think there's going to be a lot of Lions fans waking up around the country. Guys, did you hear what Mike Tannenbaum said about Rob Gronkowski?
Mike T.
I am not shocked by this, but what I was shocked by was what Warren Sapp said about Colin Kaepernick. We'll play that for you.
Are you surprised at anything he said?
I am, actually. I was shocked by it. Not too much shocks me anymore. Maybe I can do my research on Warren Sapp. Shock moments?
I know Warren Sapp. Nothing shocks me.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, can't wait for this discussion. But like first, the message from Centron.
The summer of Centron is here, and now Centron is available at Kroger. That's right, 2 for $4. The original is $3.50, so you're getting a heck of a deal there. Go to CentronWorld.com because select Krogers, you got to know which ones they are. Go to CentronWorld.com. Proud partners, the Detroit Pistons, the Detroit Tigers, as well as the Detroit Red Wings. You want to be a part of this? Because Centron, they want to be here for the memories. Drink it, live it. Centron.
For the family.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
So good here, having a lot of fun on a Tuesday. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, guys in the glass, Sam Flannel, and Fletch. Thank you guys for being along with us. Okay, so Braylon talked about this during the Gronk retirement. Your guy, your former general manager of the New York Jets, the guy that brought you to New York.
There you go.
Weighed in on this subject. And the question to him was, how will the Tampa Bay Bucks be without Rob Gronkowski, and will he come back? 100% he comes back. Here's the quote from Mike Tannenbaum on Get Up, ESPN. 100% he comes back. Tom Brady, when he says go, he says yes. How high, how fast, and look, they don't need Gronk for 17 games, guys. They need Gronk in consequential moments, third down, red zone, coming down the stretch. Maybe it's 15, 20 plays a game. So when Tom Brady says, hey, Gronk, it's time to go, I'll have not a doubt in my mind that he'll be a Buccaneer. 100% chance that he joins them down the stretch.
I disagree.
So, this is what I will say. Does Tom Brady need Gronk? Are you crazy? Of course he does. With Gronkowski, he got 4 more rings. He brought Gronkowski into Tampa Bay. Year 1, they won another ring. 48 touchdowns, 0 interceptions since they've been on the field together in Tampa. His passing rating is higher when Gronk's on the field. Less interceptions when Gronk's on the field. More touchdowns when Gronk's on the field. All his numbers speak for themselves. Not to mention the moments. Like, it's just not one of those players that's a great player. It's one of those players that's pivotal to the success and vital to the winning. Look how many touchdowns he had in the Super Bowl when they won. Look at the moment against the Rams. The infamous catch on the left sideline right before the end zone. I mean, remember the game where I think his ankle was messed up?
Yeah.
And it was the second Super Bowl in which the Giants beat the Patriots. He had like 97 yards on a bum wheel. It was like T.O. It was like watching T.O. out there again. He plays at a level that's just very different, and Tom's used to having it. And he still has it. Last year he had 885 yards and he missed 6 games. 885 yards as a tight end who missed 6 games. Gronkowski's a monster. Now, is he coming back? I guarantee you Tom and him have talked, and I guarantee you Tom has told him this. Rob, Gronk, whatever they call each other, don't come to training camp. You don't need to be here. Don't even come the first 4 weeks. If we get to November and we're looking good, I need you back. I need you ready. I need you to be in shape. Because if we get to November and it's looking like we got a shot, we're leading our division, we're 2 in the NFC or 1 in the NFC, I need you to have your ass in Raymond James Stadium because we're going to go win another one. Only then will I tell you to come back. If we get to November and we're like 500 and it's not looking good, hey, stay retired. Hell, I might retire. I guarantee that's the conversation that they've had, and it's a good one.
I just don't think he would put out his epitaph and say, goodbye, Tampa, thank you for everything. And I just don't see it. I think he's truly done. He's beaten. What more can he do? I think he goes to television and says goodbye. I think what more does he need to do?
You know who else did that?
Who?
Tom Brady.
I know, but he
41 days.
He turned it around pretty quick.
Right.
Let's see.
I think also I think the one thing that Tannenbaum highlighted for us, and I think we're maybe underestimating, is Tom's I don't want to go that far, but Tom means everything to Gronk. Tom brought Gronk along. They're boys, but Tom's big bro. You got a big brother. When your big brother says go, when your big brother says I need you, it doesn't matter. Gronk's done playing until what you said. He's been wanting to retire. He didn't want to come to Detroit. He retired then. He retired from the Tampa. Gronk's done playing football. But at the same time, when your big brother calls, you don't know how to say no thank you.
There are those people in your life that could just get you to do anything they want you to do.
Ryan, let's go rob a bank.
Right. You gotta convince me a little bit more. You gotta convince me more than
70,
that.
I take 30.
Yeah, you gotta convince me more than that.
Yeah.
But there are those people that can just get you to do anything you want, whether how right or wrong you know it is.
True.
And I think that guy is Tom Brady for Gronk. And let's say this too: Tom Brady loves Rob Gronkowski, but Tom Brady loves Tom Brady more. And Tom Brady is going to manipulate any situation to get what Tom Brady wants. And a lot of people do that in positions of power. That's just what it is. And you accept that. That's a part of Tom Brady that is just, that's how he's a winner. That's how leaders lead sometimes. They can manipulate you to do things to make everything go.
I agree, but at the same time, I think Tom appreciates and respects his relationship with his former teammates or teammates that are also his brothers. And the reason why I say that, look at a guy like Julian Edelman. I guarantee you Tom had a conversation with him to bring him to Tampa, and I guarantee you Julian said, look, Tom, I'm done. Like, I get it. He said, you know, you're the go. You're probably going to win another one because he retired the year before Tom.
That's a great point.
He said, I guarantee you had the conversation with Edelman. And Edelman was like, look, Tom, like, I love you. I'll do anything for you, but I'm over it. And I guarantee Tom was like, I appreciate you. I love you. I just had to bring it to you. I guarantee you Tom wouldn't put Rob in a bad situation, or Gronk, and that didn't even sound right, Rob. I guarantee he wouldn't put Gronk in a bad situation, or he wouldn't overly manipulate him, because he does care about his teammates, and I think you saw that with Julian Edelman.
Somebody had mentioned go to the broadcast booth. I think Gronk would be a very good third in a booth. I'm not sure he would be a very good analyst in the booth.
Put him on the field. I think he'd be great on the field.
Or put him on the field in a Tony Siragusa type situation.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Time,
because if you notice, the really good analysts usually are quarterbacks or safeties.
Very true.
You know, I mean, because
Rodney Harrison,
you know,
Clark,
Akeem Talib as a defensive back.
He is.
You know, I mean, he knows the game. You have to play a position where you know everybody else's position, what they're supposed to do. Quarterback is a position where you do that. Safety is a position you do that. In some areas, an offensive lineman knows all
especially
5 spots.
Center, like Jeff Saturday.
Exactly. Damian Woody. You know, like you know. I'm not sure Gronk, as a game analyst in the booth, looking down at an eagle's eye, would know, oh, this guy's doing this, he's blocking the, you know what I mean, all that. Not to discredit how good of a player he is, I just don't know, you know, if he knows. This is going to sound really bad probably, but I don't know if he knows the game as thoroughly as probably, you know, a quarterback would, as Tom Brady does, as Tony Romo does, as Troy Aikman does.
And that's why I think it would be good to start him on the field, because I think if you start him on the field, you can kind of assess the situation. You can kind of see, you know, what his limitations are. You can kind of see, oh, he actually knows this, or he knows more. I think he's going to surprise some people, because I think he plays on.
He plays a dummy.
Thank you. He plays the dumb frat boy. But I think, and you've heard Tom talk about it, you heard Belichick talking about it. They say he was a wild card. When we wouldn't draft him, he had a terrible interview. But once they brought him into the organization, gave him a shot, they said that guy was lights out. They said he showed up to meetings. He said he was on point, and he knows what he's talking about. So I think he's going to surprise some people. But to your point, I will start him on the field.
Hey, he's taking care of his money. He hasn't spent a dime of his NFL money.
All he wears is cargo shorts and T-shirts.
Right,
He ain't spending on nothing.
He's lived on his commercial money. That's what he's lived on.
Wouldn't that be great to have a job that pays you so much money that you could just bank all of it, and then you could just live however you want, because the other job that you do pays you so much money that you don't even need that first job. It's like
Shaq.
Shaq did that. Who was the Lion that did that from Oklahoma? Ryan
Broyles.
Ryan Broyles.
Ryan Broyles. He has a firm now.
Does he?
Yeah, he has a firm. He I want to say he does real estate investment. Real estate investing. Yeah, he's doing his thing, man.
That's great stuff. Absolutely.
Wish he could have played more, though.
No doubt. Guys, I want to play that Warren Sapp audio for you. We'll do it right out of the break. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They keep you safe, give you peace of mind, whether you're at home or on the road. They're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what is important to you is safe. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for peace of mind. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Right now, let them know Woodward Sports sent you. Warren Sapp on Colin Kaepernick's workout right out of the break. Stay right there.
There it is.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
New to the
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there.
Every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the Odds Trader Bet Tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to Odds Trader, and best of luck.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
I mean, do you see Kaepernick coming back? I mean, he tried out with the Raiders recently, but I heard the tryout wasn't all that great.
I heard it was a disaster. I heard it was one of the worst workouts ever. I'm wondering how the hell this happened and the tape didn't get out, right? I mean, somebody wasn't over the fence or nothing? Come on, man. We live in a world right now where you put a drone up. Hey, it ain't like they can stop you. They ain't gonna stop the workout talking about there's a drone up here. We don't know who this is. I mean, what? Come on, let's run this. They don't even send them up the ladder anymore. You remember we used to go out to practice? Send the guy up the thing and he's shooting practice off. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, we just interviewed Josh Norman. He pretty much said, look, you can't sue a company and then go back and try to work for them.
Oh. So that was Warren Sapp talking about Colin Kaepernick's workout with the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, two things about that, Braylon, before I come to you. One, it's clear that Colin Kaepernick did not have a good workout because I think the Las Vegas Raiders at their core wanted to sign him. I think they were hoping it was a good workout and they could sign him. I think it's something they really wanted to do. They're the Raiders. They've been at the forefront of all these different social things throughout the decades, and they wanted to sign him. They didn't. Another aspect of that, it looked like Warren Sapp took great pleasure in knowing that it was a bad workout. Yeah. Almost like he had a personal vendetta against Colin Kaepernick, which, again, however you feel about Kaepernick, I don't take any joy in seeing people fail, no matter who they are or what they do. It looked like he took great joy in that.
He's an individual that takes great joy in knocking others down. Like, he's done that for years. Even when he was on NFL Network, I've hung out with him in person, and you watch him just talk stuff. Listen, Warren Sapp is one of the best defensive linemen to ever play the game. I can't take anything away from Warren in that department. He was amazing at Miami. I mean, you got to hear The Rock tell stories about how, Warren Sapp took his job and and the rest is history, but whatever. He's a great defender with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tony Dungy's system. And he was amazing. With all that said, sometimes when individuals are great, they take great joy in boosting themselves up while trying to knock everybody else down. That's just the type of guy Warren is. So sometimes you got to take what he says with a grain of salt. And that was great by you spotting that, because you can hear it. He has fun doing that to anybody. Now, with that said, Colin Kaepernick, it's so interesting that he's in this space trying to play football, right? It's so interesting he's trying to get a job 6 years later, because I always wondered when everything was going on and the messages got lost in terms of he took the knee, he took a stand, and then the the NFL blackballed him, and we found that out to be true. Then the narrative became just about the message. And then I think he, in the early stages wanted to play football. I think back in 2016, 17, 18. But I think as the message went on, then the settlement happened. Then Nike gave him the lifetime contract. He was over football.
Right. Well, it's kind of like Ray Rice. I feel like if the suspension just was longer, I think Ray Rice would have gotten back in the league, right? I mean, once the video came out, it was over. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, if Colin Kaepernick did now what he did 6 years ago or whatever, you wouldn't even bat an eye at it, and you'd move on. Ray Rice, if he would have just gotten a penalty, stiffer penalty, he would have come back and played in the NFL. Timing is everything. Just the Sapp thing. The Sapp thing was like, man, dude, what's your issue?
You're in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Like, go sit down somewhere, man. Stop messing with prostitutes. But going back to, we all know that's why he got fired. He got caught in the prostitute sting at the Super Bowl that was in San Jose.
On the NFL Network's dime.
Exactly. No, so hush up. But with that being said, I think with Cap, I think Cap legitimately, it got to taking a knee, getting blackballed, then going through that whole process, then suing the NFL, winning that case, Nike and all that. to I think now 6 years later, he's like, I actually do miss football. They actually, I know they paid me, but they took that away from me. So he wants to play, but guess what, Ryan Ermanni? It's too late. Like we're talking about, will Deshaun Watson still have it?
That's what I'm talking about.
At 25 years old,
That's
we're talking about, will
exactly
Deshaun Watson still have it, missing 2 years? You're talking about a guy that's my age now. I'm 39. I think Cap's 35. So you're talking about a guy, he's 35 years old. He's missed 7 seasons to be in the NFL. He's not supposed to have it anymore.
Right.
Because even when he was playing, his mechanics were iffy.
Right.
He didn't have the best mechanics. He ran 4.3, and he had a smoking cannon. Now what does he run? 4.8?
That's what's up.
And he's got an okay arm?
It's time for the XFL or USFL now, Cap.
Throw the bag drop a bag at him.
Go for it.
Seriously.
Bring him in.
Drop a bag at him.
There's plenty of people out there.
That's who should do it. Bring him in. I would watch it.
Absolutely.
You want to put your league on the map or bring some attention to it, start bringing Kaepernick and guys like him in. That's it.
Without question.
That's it.
You bring Cap to the USFL or the XFL, I would definitely tune in every game. You bring Cap to the Seattle Seahawks, I'm sorry, Mass, I got to pass.
Right. He's not going to make the team.
No, not at all.
It's over.
Guys, do you see this fight that's happening between Adrian Peterson and Le'Veon
I know.
Bell?
I know.
Yeah. What are they doing?
What are we doing?
What are they doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Getting paid. What do you mean, what are you doing? Le'Veon ain't got a check.
And Le'Veon ain't got a chance either.
So here's a funny story. I think I told this story before. So my senior year at Michigan was Adrian Peterson's freshman year at Oklahoma. We go to the ESPN Awards. He was up for the Doak Walker. I think Cedric Benson ended up winning, rest in peace. But Adrian had 1,900 yards as a freshman. He was up for the Doak. He lost. Whatever. I couldn't wait to meet him because he's a phenom. Phenoms don't happen too often. Yeah. I guarantee you, when Bo Jackson and Herschel were rookie, freshmen in college, people were excited to meet them. I was excited to meet him. I went to shake his hand. It's the strongest damn handshake I've ever felt in my life.
You told me that before.
Oh, I did. No, and so I said, that's what I told you. I set my dad up. I said, Dad, it's Adrian Peterson. Let me introduce you. And he grabs my stepdad's hand, not the football player, the stand, my stepfather. He almost broke my stepfather's hand. He was like, God, so Braylon. To your point, no one stands a chance against Adrian Peterson except maybe Aaron Donald.
You don't
Incredible.
think? No, it only takes a little talent, man. Just because you're strong don't mean that you're going to win.
You got to have a chin, but it's like bricklayer. It's like Jerry Rice, man. He grew up doing different things as a kid, man. No, thank you. I'll pass.
Okay.
You keep your bag.
That is so funny.
Right.
Anyway, they're going to fight next. What is it? July 23rd or something like that in L.A. at the old Staples Center. They call it the Crypto, whatever the hell.
Crypto.com.
That's a big.
They're on the undercard, obviously, of some
what
some
did they
fight
get paid,
card.
Ryan?
I don't know.
It's probably on Triller. It's probably Triller.
I don't know what Triller is.
Put up that tweet again. I think it tells you where it's at.
It's at Crypto.com.
I was trying to see how much they got paid.
Yeah, but I think it tells you everything.
Peterson and Bell will meet on the undercard of the Social Gloves 2, an event promoted by YouTube star Austin McBroom. McBroom takes on a fellow YouTuber, Eon Gibb, or whatever his name is, in the main event. You know what's so funny, just reading these things?
Everything.
My kids don't have television stars or movie stars that they look up to.
They just look up to YouTubers.
They look up to YouTubers.
Yep.
Yeah.
They could see Sylvester Stallone. I mean, I know it's like there's no. Yeah. I can't think of an age-appropriate person right now.
Yeah.
They could see Sylvester Stallone walking down the street. They'd walk down the street. They see Janie and whoever making slime videos.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They'll lose their freaking minds.
My daughter last year caddied at the Rocket Mortgage, the Pro-Am.
Yeah.
My daughter Lily had the Pro, and she was the Olympian. She's the LPGA, one of the champions. Lexi, Lexi Thompson?
No idea.
Yeah.
She had her. Her friend had a YouTuber. Lexi had everyone come after her, autograph and all. Lexi tipped. I won't tell what she tipped Lily. Her and Lily got along so well.
Yeah.
The TikToker Venmo'd Lily's friend like $300, right then and there. Lily didn't get that from Lexi. I could say that. And I just want to say, everybody was all over the TikToker versus the pro.
Well, I mean,
it was night and day.
Look, I went to Maz's daughter's graduation party, and I
sent the video.
Yeah, you sent the video. But these high schoolers were there. And, you know, I've been on Fox 2 for 19 years in September. It'll be 19 years.
Woo.
These kids were coming up to me because I show up on the Woodward Sports TikTok.
They were like this.
Oh.
You know how we go to places and they go, all right, Ermanni.
You talking about
These
the
kids
ladies?
they came up to Ryan, they went like this. Woodward Sports TikTok, man.
So you're getting love
because I
everywhere
was
now.
on the TikTok. I show Woodward Sports shows up on the kids' TikTok feeds.
Well,
I didn't even know I was on this TikTok that they say.
Isn't that something?
What is this? I thought it was a mint.
Is that something?
Well, they got to add me to the TikTok feed so I get some love like
gotta
you.
get you going,
but
man.
I mean, it's incredible.
You're right though, man. What was I about to say about these influencers? Friend of mine, big Michigan donor. My boy Steven, you know, whatever. Eisenberg.
Shout out Steve.
Shout out Steve Eisenberg, big donor. Love the guy.
Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Any relation to Walter White?
Little
Breaking Bad reference.
But yeah, so anyway, he had a birthday party. His son's bar mitzvah. I want to say, son's bar mitzvah. Like he said, you can have anybody at this party. Like keep in mind, like Steve's the guy.
Baller.
When Michigan goes to Rome and when they go to South Africa, well, this is the guy that's footing the bill.
Yeah.
He could have had anybody at the party. He had some YouTube TikToker that Steve had never heard of. I had never heard of. He was like, I asked the kid, you can have anybody. He's some guy I don't know. He didn't use that language, but that's what they're into,
It's
man.
incredible stuff, man.
into.
Guys, some big news in the NBA. And a trio of guards, some staying put, some on the move, but some will have an impact on their team, either good or bad. We'll have the NBA free agent news that you want to hear. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Gypsy Vodka.
Gypsy Vodka has done it. This summer they have introduced the Mulligan. That's right. I'm not talking about the golf stroke. I'm talking 8% alcohol out seltzer. Very, very, very good. And that 8% is 8% for a reason, not 5% like some of these other weak products. Gypsy, it is amazing. They have iced tea, they have the mango, they have the lemonade infused with a dash of vodka. So be careful on that golf course because this could enhance your swing or it could take you the other way. But it is darn good. You don't also need it on the golf course. You can have it in the backyard while you're barbecuing, you and the family, kids sitting out there in the backyard, grass is green, going good. Add a Mulligan to your life. Gypsy, the Mulligan. Drink responsibly.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
All summer long, the Monroe Street Midway is open in downtown Detroit. Enjoy basketball, roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and more. A fun, safe event for everyone between the ages of 1 and 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more info. That is deckedoutdetroit.com.
All right, so NBA free agency starts next week. I believe the league year starts. Does it start this week? League year starts July 6th, but I guess you
can start talking.
Yes. That's right. Yes, you could have those deals in place. You can't sign them. That's what it is until July 6th when the league year starts. So news today regarding the Detroit Pistons. Of course, Marvin Bagley, as expected, gets a qualifying offer. They'll try to work out some sort of deal with him. I really like Marvin Bagley. I think, he's a young player who really fits in well here. He likes the team. The team likes him. I think just having a new life is a new life, a new spot out of Sacramento is really good for Marvin Bagley. I think this is a player that the Pistons can sign and feel real good about.
Yeah, I like his energy. I think when he came, you saw the energy, you saw the excitement. He's a guy that can run. He can run the length of the court as well. He also works well in the half-court sets. You saw the alley-oops. Like, it was the first time I saw some excitement at LCA. I saw once he got here. So it's fun. I don't know if he's a starter fully for the Detroit Pistons. I think he'd be a guy that plays quality minutes off the bench, maybe upwards of 25 minutes a game. But I definitely like his energy. I like his excitement. And like you always talk about, sometimes you just need a fresh start. You need to be somewhere with some new energy.
Kyrie Irving ended all speculation yesterday, and that's what $36.5 million does, right? Kyrie Irving opted back. He is taking Brooklyn's money. Was it the first choice for him? Probably not, but here it is. Without the ability to find a sign-and-trade deal, Kyrie Irving plans to exercise his $36.5 million player option for next season and return to the Brooklyn Nets. That was the Woj bomb yesterday. Adrian Wojnarowski, ESPN.
Poor guy.
Yep.
Poor guy Kyrie. He has to opt in to the $36 million deal to play with the best player in the NBA, and Kevin Durant, and the Ben Simmons, who'll probably be healthy this year, and Seth Curry, and this other team that's right now second best odds to win the championship this upcoming NBA season. I'm sorry for the poor guy. Give me a break.
How would you feel if you're the Brooklyn Nets, though, if Kyrie was able to figure this out and leave for LA? They would have lost him. They would have lost Kevin Durant. 12 months ago at this time, they were the favorite to win the NBA championship this year.
They still got the second best odds.
But again, if both of them left 12 months into this whole thing, here's Brian Windhorst on the New Jersey Nets, the Brooklyn Nets.
The Nets saying. The Nets are putting out there right now that they are prepared to lose both Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. They would rather lose them both than go through what they went through last season, which was a miserable season under the situation that Kyrie Irving contributed to creating.
And now they don't have to.
Now they don't have to, but at the end of the day, they held all the cards. They held all the cards, and you know why they held all the cards? Because everywhere Kyrie is gone, it's almost, and it's going to correct me if I'm wrong, it's almost like Antonio Brown. Now, way, way, way less in terms of leaving a place just in misery, how you leave. But everywhere Antonio Brown is gone, it's been over. Like, people hate him after he leaves. When he left Cleveland, Cleveland was like, oh, that Kyrie guy, don't want nothing to do with him. Then he leaves the Celtics. They don't want anything to do with it. And now what he's done with the Brooklyn Nets, he's legitimately been a selfish player. He hasn't been there for his teammates. He hasn't upheld the deals that he told the franchise that he would do. I will be here. I will play. Only thing that he did for that franchise so far is he got KD to Brooklyn. Outside of that, he hasn't done anything for him. So that's why they can't do any sign and trades. Who the hell wants to sign and trade with him? They're like, no, I'm cool. Can he give me 50? Yeah. Is he one of the best point guards in the NBA? Maybe the best point guard in the NBA? Yeah, sure. But I don't feel like dealing with all that other stuff. You know what, Brooklyn? We're going to have to pass.
Now, we don't have the video, but do yourself a favor and go to Russell Westbrook's Twitter handle today, because he did exactly what somebody who just opted into a $47.1 million deal does. He started dancing like he was feeling good in his car. Dancing. Singing in the shower. You ever feel so good? You just start singing in the shower. Yeah. You wake up on the right side of the bed. You know you're going to have a great day today. You're singing in the shower. Maybe you sold 10, 20 cars this month. Maybe you got overtime. You know that check's coming on Friday. Yep. You got a little OT in it. You're like, oh, man, I'm going out tonight. That's what Russell Westbrook feels like today. So $47 million to suck.
So, with that being said, I was waiting for you. I had these stats already because we've been talking about this online. Yeah, 47. Look, he had a bad year last year. Is he the first player in NBA history to have a bad season? Don't worry, I'll wait for your answer. Is he the first one, a great player to have a bad season in professional sport? He's getting paid.
He might be the first player to make $47 million a year and suck.
But you know what, BS? Last year he played 78 games. Who else did that on the Lakers? Nobody. He was there dealing with everybody's BS, including his own, all game. What did he do the year before that? Oh, don't worry, I'll tell you. 24, 12, and 12. What did he do the year before that? The year before that? The year before that? The year before that? He's in the top 75. He's averaging a triple.
So he got paid for what he used to do.
Well, he did it 1 year ago. He did it 1 year ago. So it's not what he used to do. It's what he's capable of.
I'm just trying.
He's in the no, because I
trying to get under your skin.
You are under my skin. You ain't talking about that $30 million that Gordon Hayward made last year.
Oh,
exactly.
No,
there we go.
Well, $30 million ain't $47 million, but Gordon Hayward hadn't been good in ever.
Well, he snapped his leg in half.
Gordon
Hayward's played 11 years and he's never made the All-Star game.
Gordon Hayward
talk about
is
that.
stealing, but he ain't stealing like John Wall's stealing.
Now we can have some common
He ain't stealing like John Wall's stealing.
Yeah.
Literally, John Wall is stealing money.
Yeah.
But he and the Rockets have agreed to a buyout. He'll join the Clippers
next
season.
That's a nice team.
It's a good team.
They got the third best.
Can I just say?
Yes, you got it.
When you guys asked me who was going to win the NBA championship next year, what team did I say?
You got the Clippers.
I said the Clippers because Kawhi Leonard is a winner, and when healthy. Now,
is he a winner?
He's a winner.
Is he? Okay, yes, he won with San Antonio. Yes, he goes to Toronto, won again. But just like Kyrie, you can't depend on Kawhi. Kawhi is on his own time.
Different reasons.
Always.
Different reasons.
BS. You on your own time is you on your own time. No matter how you slice it.
If you go to somewhere and win a championship, you can be on your own time. I'll let you do that.
How many games has Kawhi played the last 5 years?
Well, he's played. I don't know about the last 5 years. I'd have to go back and look.
He didn't play last year.
He's the king of load management.
He didn't play the year before that. He didn't play the year before that. He played the year before that.
But when he does play, they win.
Well, when Kyrie plays, they win.
Not necessarily.
We just say he's a very good player.
No, Kawhi is a damn good player. He's amazing. He's a claw. But I'm just saying he's another one of those individuals I don't trust.
Is Brooklyn look? LA is in a miserable city. I don't know what LA does because Westbrook and LeBron cannot coexist. It's just not a good.
Well, they have to.
Yeah, I know, but that they have to be together. But that doesn't mean they're going to be any good.
I
just don't know what
Westbrook
you do with that team.
More LeBron.
I don't know what you do with that team. I like it when the Lakers are good.
Not me. Not with him on it.
I think sports are better when your big teams are good. Yeah. Like when the Lakers are good, when the Yankees are good, when the Cowboys are good, and when the Red Wings are good, when Montreal is good.
The Lakers will be a lot better this year. Well, they don't have a choice.
I don't know what they could do.
Well, here's one thing they can do is they can have a healthy AD. You want to talk about healthy?
Oh, what a softie!
I
feel like you could go to get a soft serve ice cream. You see Anthony Davis's face there.
Soft serve my butt. You would like to have him in Detroit when AD is healthy.
No,
I would. When AD is healthy, he's top 5 player in the NBA. When LeBron is healthy, he's still top 5 player in the NBA. You got both those guys on the same team. Then you got Russell Westbrook. Darvin Ham has already started the right process, just like the coach of Miami Dolphins. Who's the new coach of Miami?
But if Braylon, if you're Antonio, if you're Anthony Davis, how have you not picked up a basketball since the season ended?
First of all, I didn't say that he was
just
the
soft,
guy.
man.
I'm just saying if they get on the right track. Coach is Mike McDaniel, I believe. First thing he said when he got to Miami Dolphins, what did he talk about? Boom. Called Tua. No, Tua's the guy. Tua's going to be all right. Said all the right things about Tua. Gave Tua some confidence. Tua's probably going to win comeback player, not comeback, but most improved player this season. It's the same thing Darvin Ham did. As soon as he got there, Russell Westbrook, one of the best players of all time, NBA top 75. He's going to give him confidence. He's going to help him out. The best thing that they can do is they got to move LeBron to point. And they got to give LeBron the point and put Russell at the 2 guard.
We are going to have Maz's videos of the day. After a 1-day hiatus, we will bring back the segment of the videos of the day. Remember, we had D-Mac in the house yesterday for the last half of the show. But Maz, it is your time next to make sure that we have some entertainment value on the show. It's time of the day next for Maz. But first, a message from my bookie.
That's my place where I put my wagers on. Right on my homepage on my phone, mybookie.ag, mybookie.com. You first-timers, use the promo code Woodward. That is free money in your pocket. They'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Got a good one for you tonight. It's San Francisco Giants and the Tigers. Just a 2-game set out on the Bay. What a great pitching matchup tonight. Carlos Rodon, one of the best pitchers of the game, against Tarek Skubal, The Tigers ace. The Tigers are a heavy favorite, heavy underdog in this one. They are plus 200 in this game, and they got their ace on the hill, but they're going against a tough one. Who are you going to pick in this one? I think this might be a nice under game. We'll have to talk about this one. So see who you like in this one. You can also bet some futures on the football. How about those Yankees? They're still red hot. Get involved. Get on that baseball lines right now. NHL, NBA in the rearview mirror. So get on it right now at MyBookie. Use the promo code Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please use the Michigan Problem Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Call it.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Everybody's so nosy.
Where's the money coming from? Well, last time I checked, this company's $12 billion in, so there you go.
Oh, my God.
Mike G wants answers.
Mike G wants answers. He wanted us to explore on the YouTube chat. And again, thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to over 125 likes before the end of the show here in the next 9 minutes. Also, subscribe to Woodward Sports. Mike G on the YouTube chat was like, hey, what's this deal with the Free Press suing Michigan State? The Free Press is suing Michigan State under the Freedom of Information Act. They want to know where the money is coming from for Mel Tucker's contract. From like Matt Ishbia and the St. Pierre guy. What's his name? I don't know that second donor. I'm not a Michigan State guy, but
the second shooter.
The second shooter, who also is a billionaire.
Speaking of the Freedom of Information Act, let's go
that
there.
up.
Right?
Yeah, they did.
They
want to know if Tuck's coming.
Tuck's staying.
All right,
guys. Time of the day we like to play Maz's videos of the day.
Ooh. Oh, caught him with his pants down.
And now it's time for Maz's videos of the day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Here we are. I want to start
Here
off.
we go.
A couple days after the Stanley Cup was in the rearview mirror. How about this young hockey fan? Look at this guy. This guy going to be a hockey player when he grows up. Check this little guy out. Listen to this kid singing this.
Can I tell you a funny story real quick?
Look at him.
Can I tell you a funny story real quick?
Yeah, please.
So, all right, it's enough. So
that's enough?
That's enough of the video, probably. I mean, you go listen to the whole song?
No, it's...
Is there anything at the end?
No, that's it.
Oh. So it was our first kid.
I just don't like you to prematurely end my video.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It was our first kid. We had just had a kid. We didn't know what to do with the kid. Kid starts crying. Lydia. You know, she starts crying, whatever would have. And I said, what do you do? What do you do? And Nicole's like, I don't know what you do. She's like, and Lydia kept singing. Or not singing, but like screaming. And she was like, I don't do something. Sing a song. And she says, sing a song. And I don't know any kids' songs at the time, right? So I just go, Oh, say, can you see? And I started singing the national anthem. It's the first song I ever sang to Lydia. Yeah, she stopped crying.
You got to sing "Oh Canada." That's the best.
Well, I didn't know. I'm just thinking that.
love "Oh Canada."
So now I sing.
Especially when Tamia sings it.
And I kind of did that with Luke too, but then I had a little bit more wherewithal, and I started singing them "Hail to the Victors." So Luke knows "Hail to the Victors" unlike any other.
That's how you got brainwashed and young, man.
Did you guys catch the fireworks last night?
No,
Canada
I was
because
asleep
Canada's shorter. Like it's short and concise.
It is.
Like it gets to the point, get you in and out.
It's all great.
Yeah.
Hey, the other day, the base brawl on Sunday against the Angels and Mariners. What a fight, first of all, and so many suspensions from this one. But the best part of the fight was after it was all said and done, Angels reliever Raciel Iglesias with his tantrum, throwing out the sunflower seeds and everything else he could get his hands on.
I'd have been pissed. I'd have been pissed if I'm a sunflower seed eater on that team.
I mean, he chucked everything out.
I just go pick a bag.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's bags.
Look at him.
Yeah.
And look, the Mariners are still pissed. They still want to go after him.
Oh, is that Winkler?
Yeah, he's got
a maniac.
He got 7 games.
Jesse Winkler slugging people.
That SOB's on my team, too. And he sucks this year. Now I'm going to miss him for 7 more games.
Sucks.
Why is he so angry?
I don't know. He's just had a terrible year. He's had a terrible year. So that was that. Angels. And by the way, remember?
Where was that when Javi Baez?
Remember what's the Naked Gun? Remember?
Yeah,
it was the
Frank Drebin.
Mariners and Angels.
That's what I said yesterday. Remember?
I do.
You didn't remember.
I do remember.
Did you?
I do remember.
You didn't remember.
I
Tom.
do. I honestly do.
My boy,
You didn't remember.
Reggie Jackson.
Reggie.
I was dropping
Jackson.
Frank Drebin lines and everything.
Reggie shot the Queen.
He did.
Reggie shot the Queen.
Hey, this was from Sunday as well. It's the Yankee game. This was one of the best moments out of the Yankee bleachers.
I watched this actually.
Check this out.
A-bomb
Big
from
moment.
A-Rod.
Big moment in the bleachers.
Number 31.
Oh, how great is that little
What's
girl?
not to love about Yankee fans?
I love those
Funny
guys.
thing watching that
when they're
video
not throwing batteries at people, it's great.
It's like funny thing watching that is like in today's society, you know they were betting on that.
Of course they
guys
are.
up there.
Get a line on that.
Two more tries.
I know Jersey Mike would bet on that. He bets on anything.
Oh my God, that's great.
Anytime I would take him to a game, here even at Comerica, he'd got guys in the stands betting on how many beers are left in the vendor's box and everything. It's fun time.
My God.
Yankee fans are they're so knowledgeable about the game though too.
Yeah.
I remember going to the old Yankee Stadium. It was a Tigers-Yankees game. And sitting in the crowd, they're sitting in the stands. There was a throw from outfield, and Cano stepped in front of Jeter and took a cutoff or something like that. This Yankee fan sitting next to me, I'll never forget it, stands up. Cano, what are you doing, you idiot? Jeter had to cut. Everybody knows that's Jeter's cut.
Jeter's cut.
It's so great.
Listen to you.
What are you doing, Cano? Jeter had to cut. It was Jeter's cut.
Were you ever there for the roll call in the beginning of the game?
No, I don't know.
When they call out every player.
Oh, I didn't know.
Derek Jeter, and then he tips his hat. Then they'll Paul O'Neill, and he tips his hat.
I didn't do that.
It's the greatest part of being it. Before I get to my last video, can you put up the AL Player of the Week for me, please, Fletch? Just for the YouTubers that have been making fun of me over the weeks.
Isaac Paredes, the American League Player of the Week for the Tampa Bay Rays.
He's 23, and he's still going. Well over 1,000 ops for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's got 10 home runs. He is still lighting it up. And I just don't see him stopping. I don't know what the hell they did to this guy, but they did something.
You know what?
Austin Meadows, we're still waiting on you, buddy.
It's a true indication of player development. Yeah. This is as true a definition of a player development. This is why the Rays are good and they have no payroll, and this is why the Tigers are bad and they have somewhat of a payroll. Yeah. And that's just what it is. Maz, I got about 90 seconds for you.
I think also, too,
that's fine.
It also goes to show when your team is good, when it's good around you, like you can feed off of that. Obviously, it's definitely players, but you can feed off a team that's good, off good players, off good moments, off good managing, etc. When everybody sucks and you're struggling, where the hell do you turn to? Like, I want to talk to you, but you suck. I want to talk to you, you suck. Everybody sucks.
Right. We all suck.
I leave you with one last one for Harry Carey. This bud's for you, Harry.
Hi.
You know, a lot of people think I have the best seat in the house. No way. The best seat in the house is right here, cheering on the Cubs with the greatest fans in the world and the greatest beer in the world, Budweiser. Yeah, nothing quenches a Cub fan's thirst for victory quite like the king of beer. Oh, now here comes another one. Cub fans, this Bud's for you.
Hi.
No better pitch man for anything than Harry Carey and Budweiser.
The best.
I can't even look at Harry Carey as saying, after I saw that Will Ferrell SNL skit, how funny is he when he does Harry Carey on SNL? You ever seen
man,
it?
it's so great.
Oh, yeah.
I visited his grave like 3 different times already. Yes.
I remember watching a Cubs game on WGN when I was a kid growing up, and I'll never forget it. He says, it was so cold, it was snowing out in Chicago at Wrigley, and Harry Carey says, you know, Stoney, they make a Budweiser, they make a Bud Light, and they make a Bud Dry. How about them making a Budweiser hot for a cold day like today?
Stoney.
So great.
This is
Stoney.
great.
Love you guys. Braylon, love having you back. Get us out of here.
Good to be back, man. We're having a great week already. It's going to heat up tomorrow, not only outside, but in the studio. We're going to keep it cooking. This is the bottom line. This is what we do. Hey, man, if you guys got any comments, anything you want to talk about, want us to talk about, now is the time in summer. Because once we get to football season, we are rolling. For my man Flannel Sam in the booth, Fletch, my right hand, my boy Maz on the couch, and my brother to my left, Ryan and Marty, we are the bottom line.
That's what's up.
Do I just go? I'm not going to drop.
Go.
All right. Go ahead.
2, 1.
Oh, my God.
Go.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my. Oh. This isn't right. I don't get paid enough for this.